As I'm here at the gas pump, I wanted to take a minute to talk to you guys about the importance of using 4 energy to alleviate yourself of 5 burdens. What do I mean by that? So in numerology and my number system, I've taught you guys that 4 is a number that represents communication agreements, insight, awareness. But specifically in this example, I'm talking about the power of communication, the power of authentic, honest, truthful, balanced communication. And when we're talking about karmic connections, when we're talking about internalizing the negative emotion associated with certain karmic circumstances and scenarios, the best way to oftentimes release this burden is communicating and establishing a verbal boundary. If a certain situation is causing you to carry anxiety, negative emotion, and become imbalanced, right? And you feel for some reason not comfortable expressing what's going on, right? So there is a lack of clarity in a situation that does no good for anyone. That's why being able to be assertive is so important. Being able to understand your own emotions is so important. Because when you can communicate something clearly, what happens is you are bifurcating the karmic burden. In other words, you are separating the struggle. If you choose to carry the burden of someone else because you are afraid to establish a boundary, you're not separating karmic lessons. You are not saying, this is your burden, not mine. So you're carrying that weight unfairly, unjustly. Once that karmic lesson has been properly bifurcated, right, or released from the party it doesn't belong to, it can then be properly processed by the party it does belong to. Okay, that 50 cycle can begin properly, that 80 cycle, right, depending on the circumstances, right? In other words, karmic cycle, justice cycle, right? Reaping what was sown, learning your lessons. Okay, this is an important thing, you guys. You do not know how important it is to be able to communicate properly and to be able to let people know what they need to know. And what makes karmic situations so interesting as it relates to the universe and the grand architect's design is these situations will often be occurring with people you cannot easily separate from. There will be so many overlapping connections, to where it makes it difficult to simply cut someone off and walk away. There is a reason for this. And it's because you need to be able to navigate these tricky waters, these tricky connections, these tricky emotions, and make the proper decisions, right? And if it's someone that you'll never see again, the work does not have to be done, right? Because you can simply walk away. If you cannot do that, you have no choice but to work through those energies if you are hoping to reach peace on the other side. And I don't care how long you've known someone. I don't care what the circumstances. If this situation has become a heavy burden for your spirit and your soul, you need to learn to choose yourself first.